next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts. And a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does. And you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks down to get 6'5".
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
On the handoff, they start with Richardson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. So much for staying ahead of the chains with a 3 or 4 yard gain on first down. They move the chains with a nice little run.
Yeah, they're making the chain gang hustle a little bit to try and keep up, aren't they? Because a lot of the first series of games are scripted. Many times to probe and find some holes in the defense. Sometimes you attack with some big-time runs, too.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Barnes. It's caught by Jackson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now it's Richardson, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about.
Holding, offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on 2nd and goal. Gibson here running out of the gun. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Barnes. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start on the ground. Hall. He'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Jackson to Bateman there. 1st down, Ravens.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Holding, offense.
And that's on big Mekhi Becton, 1st-round pick in 2020. On 1st down, they're going option left. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 70 yards. And the Ravens have answered that early field goal to take a 1st-quarter lead. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy's simply sensational.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker drop on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack. Looking to throw on second down. Owens. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throw right side, caught by Winslow. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Taking it about the 36. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll start by running the option to the right. A decent run there following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. 6 yards there on the keeper at second down. Now that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
They go play action with Jackson. All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Yeah, he'll find Hall. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was third and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good, and this will stay a 4-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about...
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the...
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown.
Breece Hall
punching it in from a yard away.
And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So the previous pass interference call put the ball at the 1-yard line, and then they stick it in on the very next play.
And I love the play call right there. After you get the pass interference call, you've got a defense that's discombobulated a little bit, right? They're protesting the call, upset about what happened. Go right at them. Run the football. And the defense acquiesces, and the ball ends up in the end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here's Richardson.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Now a toss to Richardson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. After one, a 14-3 ball game.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Jackson. So he's stopped for no gain. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And his kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now here come the Ravens.
Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new rings.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
And the Commanders will take over possession here up at the 44.
Partner, I think this one won't arrive very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10
at their own 44. Off play action. Barnes. Right side caught by Jackson.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Off the play fake. Barnes. He'll get this one complete to Winslow.
And he's going to be taken down at the 40-yard line.
Not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now we got whistles before the snap. Looked like one of the Commanders jumped. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Richardson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
2nd and 11 at the 41.
Operating from the gun, Barnes, and he fires one incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they'd left their starting quarterback out there for the second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and that will keep the lead at 8.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Jackson to throw.
And check down, complete to Hall.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
And the Washington offense heading out.
Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the... The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. They run with Richardson.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, Barnes.
He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Richardson. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Back to throw. Barnes. And this one's incomplete. During these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now. It's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Dropping all his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a 4th down?
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll get the lead down to 5.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Ravens offense back out there. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now Hall to start the drive.
Gets around him, and they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. but how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
4 yards on the pickup.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return.
And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Throwing to start the drive. Barnes. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. To throw again. Barnes forced out to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. To throw on 3rd down. Barnes. On the right side, caught by Green. And they're going to get him down well short of the force as he can only get this to about the 19. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be 4th down.
Simple drag route here. Lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's pulled in at the 32. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 42.
They'll give it to Hall to start the drive.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down.
And that one complete downfield to Johnson.
Touchdown!
Tyler Johnson,
40 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Washington offense set to take over again. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Barnes. Complete. Richardson has it. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. Already in...
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
This pass complete to Higgins. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He gets this one to Johnson.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Now Jackson.
That's complete to the fullback, Ricard.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. From just shy of midfield, Jackson. And this one is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
On 3rd down, here's Hall.
And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports.
Well, look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the third quarter.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coach is up in the box.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, you got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
First possession of the second half now for Washington. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They run again with Jennings. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. This is Jennings. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. Owens. And that is incomplete.
The Commanders going to bring out the field goal unit
from the left hash. A chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So, in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Now Baker off the play fake.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down.
It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see you have precious little time to do anything with the football.
That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense back out there.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Jennings. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Jennings. And he stopped immediately there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Jennings. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the reception made by Green. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The end result, 21 yards.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
On 1st down, Owens. He goes right back to Green. He's got it complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Jennings gets by him at the 25. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. On 2nd down, it's Jennings, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Owens. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. And his kick is good. And that'll move him back within 6 now.
So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within one score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. They'll start with the option. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He'll decide to keep this once more. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
The Commanders' offense returning to the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Being chased, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game, because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Owens. Over the middle, complete. It's Jennings. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will bring the deficit back down to 3. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fields it right around the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And the Ravens taking the field.
Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Thrown out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Ravens on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They begin the drive with Jennings on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Owens. That's caught out right by Jennings. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Jennings. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Holding. Offense.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Back to throw. Owens. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Washington going to send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
To throw is Baker. Throwing to start the drive. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Here's Johnson with a reception. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Here's Baker throwing on 1st down. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
2nd down and 8.
They'll go option to the short side. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
I'm sure as a rookie, even though this is preseason, Charles, interceptions, you got to eat at you quite a bit.
They certainly do, but here's the problem that he's confronted with. He's not the high draft pick. He's not seen as the next guy. He's got to prove himself to everyone and get noticed. So maybe instead of taking the safer throw, you press it a little bit. Try and push it downfield, try and fit into a tight window, and sometimes interceptions result.
On 1st and 10, Owens.
He's got it to Gibson.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Green.
And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
On 1st down, it's Jennings, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. On 2nd down now, it's Jennings, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And his kick is indeed good, and that'll make this a 7-point game.
So that gets him a little bit of breathing room, but not much. And you have to think back to the field goal that he missed earlier. This would be a 2-score game right now if he had converted then.
And if you and I are thinking about it, you know he is as well, because in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I hope I get one more shot in an important spot. He just made that one. He wants one more later to truly make up for the earlier miss.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone.
Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Baker now to throw on 3rd down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it, and were able to keep the drive moving.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down. Well, with him trailing here in the second half, maybe his legs can try to give this offense a spark.
And that's the benefit of having a young quarterback, right? Having a rookie, a guy who will say, hold it a second, I have a little bit of fearlessness to my game. It isn't working as well the other way. Let's see what I can do to help my team this way. And boy, he did it there.
Throwing on first down. Baker. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week one, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes, or are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
9 yards, and that leaves them just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to, and if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is third and inches. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. They'll try and run for it. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
Keep in mind, no overtime in the preseason, so without getting ahead of ourselves, we'll likely see a 2-point try should they get this in the end zone.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Back to throw.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He's back to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders have just about sewn up this football game. So the ball changing hands on the interception. But meanwhile here, we do have an injury on the play. Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll keep it on the ground. Jennings. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. On 3rd down, it's Jennings, and he's got some space here, and all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
95 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.